when setting up your YouTube channel for advertising, two really key points that you really need to have nailed down before you start advertising is both your target audience and your value proposition. Now, target audience obviously is the people you're trying to sell to, whether these are, women 35 to 40 or, children within a certain age or in a certain geographic location. You can do this targeting and you can know exactly who you want to look at, and you can even do a bit of research yourself on the platform and you can see, so what are people traditionally in my sort of key market, who are they traditionally marketing to, and you can sort of see the telltale signs in the content that will illuminate, maybe if you're a bit unsure, how you can better target this audience. Now, twofold to this, and obviously a key part of what's going to be the driving motivator for that target audience that you're trying to nail down, is your value proposition. Now, a value proposition, if you're not terribly aware of, is what makes you different, what makes you, what service or what you're offering. Obviously, for businesses, they'll have this nailed down pretty well, but if you're a content creator or you just you've got a different way of presenting something that's done elsewhere, how can you make it valuable to your user? What are you offering your user, or what are you offering your consumer that they wouldn't get anywhere else? And making sure that these two link very strongly is so important to making sure that your YouTube strategy and your further advertising strategy pays off.
So what is your channel art and why is it so important? So channel art is the visual stuff on your channel. So it's your banner, your icon, and sometimes, if you have one, your channel trailer. And these are important because they're a visual way of saying to your audience what you do and what your value proposition is and what sort of content you can give them. So your channel banner, let's start with that, is at the top of your channel. It's probably the first thing that your audience see, so it needs to be impactful. It needs to say who you are in a flash. So you need to think about what text is on there, you need to think about what images are on there as well, and what colours. So usually when it comes to text on your banner, we try to use as little as possible, because obviously that's what your channel bio is for. So you just want to have a few words that just describe who you are and what you do. You also want to feature some sort of image or graphics on there, just to add a more visual element to your banner as well. Now, when it comes to your channel icon, usually for a business, they typically use their logo because that's what's there and it helps brand their channel as well with the business. Sometimes if it's just an individual, they might just have a portrait of themselves as well to show who's running the channel and who the audience can expect to see in the videos. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about is your channel trailer. Now, this doesn't always apply. You might choose not to have one, but it is good if you want to sort of summarize what your channel is about in a very visual way. So people can watch it, it can be 30 seconds, a minute, but it just sort of says everything it needs to say to sort of entice people to come to your channel and subscribe.
Hi, it's Katie from S.media, and today I wanted to give you two little things to focus on when setting up your channel ready for YouTube advertising. So let's just start off by talking about YouTube's algorithm. What is the primary goal of YouTube's algorithm? Well, that is to serve the right video to the right person at the right time. And how can you ensure that people are going to click on your video? What is the driving factor of people clicking? Well, that is the title and the thumbnail. I'm sure you're already shouting that at the screen. So the title and the thumbnail is really what you need to focus on in your videos when you're setting up your channel. And in terms of the title, you need to make sure that this doesn't just describe the video. What is the benefit to the viewer? What reward are they going to get from the video? And that needs to be explained in the title. While you're doing that as well, rather than just describing it, while you're explaining what the reward is, you're also wanting to add keywords in, as this will enable your videos to be ranked higher. So that's the title. Now, in terms of the thumbnail, you're going to want to create something that has high contrast between the background and the foreground. So you want to make it visually stunning. And following on from that, in terms of being visual, you don't want the text on the screen to just basically repeat what is said in the title of the video. You want to give something else there in the thumbnail. And then obviously, as a final point on the thumbnail, you want to make sure it is optimized for mobile size. Obviously you want to be able to see the image and the text on a mobile as well as on a computer or laptop screen. So just make sure it's optimized for mobile.
So when it comes to YouTube advertising, how do you hook your viewer in and how do you keep your viewer watching? When it comes to advertising on YouTube, the more that your viewer watches, the easier that the remarketing becomes, and that is where you really maximise your return of investment. So my top tips is that in the first part of your video, in the first 6 seconds, really you need to grab in your audience, make them keep watching so that they don't hit skip. Then at 30 seconds, you need to give them a strong call to action. So if that is about going and buying a product on your website or putting an inquiry, give them that call to action there and then. And then throughout the rest of your video, which can go on for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes or even longer, keep bringing your audience back and giving them that call to action as to what you really want them to do. And then that way you're going to channel your audience over to your website, over to your landing page, and you're going to get them to convert. So that is how you can bring in an audience and how you can keep them there. And then of course, if you are bringing them into an entire marketing loop, you can garner data from your customer and then you can remarket to them later.